aggression, I guess, is that what strikes you about Louisville's defense and the way they play it?
Did you say aggression?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Their aggression. And honestly, like I've watched a couple games. Like I watched them play Boston College because I went back home and had some free time this weekend and watched film. And on film, obviously, I've only watched their defense. Really good defensive front, good secondary as well. And one thing that I'll give props to them is they know how to finish. This is a very gritty team. Friday night I watched them watch Boston College get up 3 scores on them, and they didn't give up. They didn't change their attitude or anything. There was no lack of performance on them. So this is a team that knows how to finish. Like I said, they're gritty, they're aggressive, really good guys up front. The guys that have been there, experienced playing, so definitely going to be a good challenge up front.
Then being so pressure oriented, what does that mean for the line as far as this specific challenge, I guess?
Yeah, definitely. This is just I would say with them being pressure oriented, just knowing how to make the IDs, us being on the same page, communication wise up front, us doing our job and really not changing what we do. So that's what, when you play different teams that run different fronts and different pressures, they bring more pressure from the field. So we got to be prepared for that and know that they're going to bring 4 to a side instead of 3 to a side. So knowing how to recognize that and see that and adjust to that on the fly is just something that we have to be able to do up front and communicate. It's not going to take anything that we haven't done before, but they have really good athletes when they do it. So we're going to have to be on point with it or we will get exposed.
You were on the team 2 years ago that started, I think, 8-0, finished 2-2, missed the CFP. Just that kind of mindset about being in position but finishing, how's that kind of permeated across things you feel like these last 2 weeks?
Yeah, it's definitely a good experience because, it's weird how fast that we've reached that point again. And different story, obviously we're not undefeated this time, but in that season, I think we all kind of expected to win and maybe didn't take opponents as serious as we needed to, or maybe some guys here and there we didn't prepare as well. So I think coming in this season, being back in a similar position like that, it's not going to take anything different. It's just having that experience is good and knowing what it takes to finish and having that pain of regret and seeing what it feels like to be 8-0 and to go up to South Bend and get your butt kicked in front of everybody and then come lose at home to your rival. It's a pretty bad feeling. So that's definitely something that the taste of that never wears off. It's something that I'll never forget, those feelings of losing those games and kind of, I'm just going to be honest, choking our chance at the playoffs again my junior year. So definitely leaves a bad taste in the mouth. But the good thing is that we have that experience now, and there's a lot of guys that were on that team that are back on this team now, and they know what it felt like, and we can share that with the younger guys and help them so they don't have to experience that.
Any questions virtually for Walker? Anybody else in the room?
Walker, did you guys plan anything for Coach Matt Luke's birthday?
Not yet. I'm sure we'll gather something. Maybe get him a Diet Coke or something, or get him like a 12-pack of Diet Coke. That's kind of his thing that he likes before practice and before game. So I'm sure we'll figure something. It's coming up. It's the 29th, is it?
Today.
Is it? It's today. Happy birthday, Coach. Sorry, maybe cut that part out.
Forget that Diet Coke.
Yeah, I know. Better hurry. I'm gonna have to run to the gas station after this.
You guys have been on such a great roll since the game. I think we're going to have rankings come out and talk about opportunities ahead of the playoff. People will nitpick and say, well, it hasn't been the best competition. So internally, as you judge yourself versus yourself, how much better do you think you guys are today than you were week 1?
I think we've improved a ton. I think, better every week is the goal, and that's what, you play different levels of opponents every week. So, it's not that there's easy games. It's just, different styles, different schemes of teams that you play that we match up better against or stuff like that. So I think we've definitely improved, but that's the plan every year, every week, regardless of opponent. Like, the plan is to always get better throughout the season. This is the time of year where, we're in week 8 and this is, people are hurt, your body's hurt, you're tired. And that's not us, that's everybody. If you're playing football for 8 weeks and you're not tired, there's something wrong. So I think this is the time where it's easy to grow weary, and that's the responsibility of the leaders on this team and the people who have been playing football for multiple years on this team, the seniors, to help the younger guys and get them on the right track. And that's really the goal, is better every single day. Although your body hurts, it's Tuesday today, we're going to go put full pads on a practice day. It has to be done. The work has to be done. So looking at the team, I'm really proud of the team, and we keep progressing every week, so that's the goal, to stay on that track.
I think Phil was talking about, though, that Coach Sweeney has done some things to help make sure you guys aren't physically overtaxed during the week. How has he done that to make you guys prepared to go like 15, 16, 17 games?
Yeah, I mean, there's some various things. Like, for example, so we have 2 bye weeks this year. Like, we had the second one last week, which isn't normal. So, maybe back off on the competitive work, then we back off on the starters a little bit, make sure everyone's healthy. Because, like I said, guys are banged up. There's no secret about that, and that's on every team. So, and then honestly, just individual needs. If some guy pulls something that week, then limit him going through and watch his reps and stuff like that. We haven't let off the physicality at all. It's just being smart with the physicality. It's not, you don't need to go out there and do good on good for 20 periods. You have to get the good on good in so it shows up in the games. But, just making sure we're smart with that and taking care of the guys who are, habitual violators of being banged up, like myself.
Dabo said on the Suns radio show that you indicated, given how well this year is going, you'd like to return next year. That was his words, not yours, but is that kind of what you're thinking about right now?
Yeah, that's fully my plan now. That's what, I've got another year of eligibility. I have no intentions of leaving, so I love this place. I love this team. And like I said, I would play here forever if they'd let me, so I think they're going to give me another year, so I'll take it.
Beyond the wins and losses, what's kind of the goal for the O-line for the rest of the year?
I would say the goal for the offensive line is, like I said, improving, because I think we're playing at a high level, but we're not playing at a championship level right now. And that's you watch the film, some of the biggest things, like what I struggle with, is pad level right now. So you can cut on the film and it shows up a little bit, like pad level, running your feet on contact and stuff like that, where we're really good right now at ID, like assignment and getting a hat on a hat, getting on people. But there's another level that we can take it to, and the vision that we have is it starts with effort, physicality, and intelligence. And as long as you have those 3 things moving forward, so perfecting those 3 areas of our play and just fixing up the little things and making sure that those things don't lack in week 8 and as you move forward. When you take the field, everyone's, you got AC joints, ankles, body hurts, but that stuff doesn't matter. The job still has to get done. So being able to play through that and still making sure it's done at the right level.
What does Matt look like during the game?
During the game, he's very much involved. So that's what, with the new rule now this year, they have the iPads and everything. So we sit there, we come off the field immediately. We're watching film, buzzing through what happened, what went wrong, what went good, buzz through all the plays. If we have time, our defense is pretty good at getting teams off the field. So we, not too much time, normally 3 and out, but we sit there and go over the mistakes that happened and the things that went good. So, he's very involved, very supportive, and it's very helpful because you see, if we miss a pickup on something, see it and then correct it the next time it happens in the game. So very, very helpful.
During fall camp, there one day out there on Jervy, I was watching him, and you guys were just doing drills on air, and he demanded that somebody go do it again and do it again like it was a game. At what point did you notice that this guy's going to be a little bit different and demand that, even if you're on air, that it's got to be technically correct? Yeah,
I would say immediately when he took over in the ball game this last year versus Kentucky last season, that he just demands excellence. And one thing that he always says is practice doesn't make perfect, but it makes permanent. And it's true. What you do in practice is going to show up in the game. You can't cruise through practice all week and then just go show up on Saturday and be this great player. And some of those guys can, but those guys are first round draft picks and they play for 10 years in the NFL. That's just not common at this level. So everything that if you take, even if you're on air, if you're not going against anybody, if you take a bad step and then you run it again, you take another bad step, when you get in the game, you're probably going to take a bad step and it's going to show up now because you're going against an opponent. So I really like what he says about that, how practice makes permanent, because it's something the mindset that we have every day is what you do now is what's going to show up in the game, and you have to treat it like a game every single day. A Monday, whether you're in vest and going against the scout team, or Tuesday versus defense, what you do, your effort, that's how you're going to play that week. So yeah, I definitely appreciate his mentality and his mindset.
Anybody else for Walker? All right, Walker. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, thank you all.